Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
It said 8:30 on Facebook, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, have I gone a bit mad in my last minute doing things?
No. Thanks for the payment.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm sorry that I was so late to pay you. That's terrible. Let me just. Oh dear. What did I put in the email?
I don't know about the email, but on Facebook it said 8:30.
I'm so naughty. Well, oh yes, it does, doesn't it?
Do you want me to come back in 15? I can't find the email.
I'm just going to edit it. That's really naughty, isn't it? Well, I think it's always 8:15, isn't it? So
yeah, that's what I thought. I got an alarm.
You've got an alarm, exactly.
It says 8:15 on the email.
There you go. It says 8:15.
8:30 on the Facebook.
Well, yes, but we'll start now, and then if people come, that's fine. I know that Maggie has said she can't, and I'm not sure about anybody else.
She said on Facebook that she could.
No, she says, I'm going to be back on board. Oh yeah, this week. I'm still catching up, so I'll be reviewing my website over the next few days. So looking forward to seeing all your faces on Tuesday. Oh yes, okay, let me put Maggie.
We're on now.
Say 8:15. Yeah. Okay. Well, then we can just have a coaching session between the two of us for 15 minutes.
Cool.
That's good value, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Are you all right?
I am. Clearly, like a little, my friend's dad died, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make the funeral. But then it was on a Monday, and I was like, okay, I could do that. If it was like in the middle of the week, it would be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And I kind of just wanted to be there to support her, really.
Yeah. I had a similar thing last year. Same thing.
Yeah, and so
it means a lot though if you're there.
It's like a long way away, and then there's a lot of drinking involved, and then coming back from a long way. So yes, it's been mostly that for like 2 days. So yeah. So I was interested because when we had one of the group coaching calls before, you were talking about your client who was asking you to do extra things.
So I thought about it, and I went round in a circle, really. I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to fit it in. I don't know how I'm going to have enough time. And then I thought about employing someone. So we were getting someone in to work on a self-employed basis. So I've gone through the houses trying to find out what's the best way to do it, because obviously employers kind of responsibilities. So I was like, I don't think I really want to employ someone just for like an hour or two a week, because it's like there's lots of implications, isn't there?
There are, for sure.
So then I was like, right, that. And then spoke to my accountant, who's really good. Is very good at advising me about business related money things. And he said, well, you could get someone on a self-employed basis, because I know loads of primary teachers. So ex-primary teachers who are kind of clicking their heels, and some of their kids have gone to school now, so they're like, oh, I really want to get a job, but I don't really know what to do. I don't want to go back into teaching. So I spoke to a couple of them about maybe the prospect of doing some teaching for me, and they were all like, yeah, amazing, brilliant. But then actually weighing up the figures, it didn't really. I was sort of in two minds. Is it worth, because the amount of people I can get to do the class isn't massive, and paying someone to do the class for me, I don't really make any money. I maybe make tenner or something.
When you do the classes?
When I do the classes, I make more, because I'm obviously.
But if you were paying somebody else?
I'd have to pay for them to prepare the class, to set it up, to tidy up, and by the time they're done, it's kind of 2 hours work, really, for not really much money. And that's why I've phased out doing the younger kids stuff, because it just doesn't make enough money.
Okay.
So I've cut down to kind of one class of that a week, which I love doing, and it's a really good kind of, it's sort of my introduction to art for these kids who then come back, you know, when they're a little bit older. I'm hoping they come back and do the older kids classes, and they make me more money. So, and it's kind of sparking that early enthusiasm, and in the parents as well, it's a really good opportunity, because when the little kids come, they sit and do the art, and their parents talk to me about all these lovely things I do, and then they want to come and do it, so they come and do the adult classes or the workshops or whatever. So it's a nice way in, but I sort of feel like it's a bit of a, it's a bit more than just doing it for the money. It's a bit of an interface for me to meet people and nurture the customers of the future, sort of thing. So then I'm thinking, if I'm farming it out, A, I'm not making any money, and B, not really meeting the people I need to meet to introduce them to the next phase of the business, because I'm finding people are sort of hanging around because they know I'm good. So they're sort of so if they've not met me, if they've met someone else that's representing the business, maybe they won't get that introduction. So I've gone around and round and round and round and round and round and round, and I've worked out I can actually squeeze it in. The extra class I wanted to do, I've shuffled things around a bit, and I can teach all the classes that I wanted to teach, make the money, probably be a bit more stressed because I'll have more stuff to do, but I'm super organised, so I'll get it all done early, and it's fine. So I'm kind of ticking all the boxes, and it's just been like whirlwind. I don't quite know where to go, and then I've made up my mind and I'm doing it myself. But I don't know how this bodes for the future, you know, whether in the future how I'm going to grow and I do want to take people on ultimately in some way, but I don't know. I don't think I'm ready yet.
Yeah, because you're very new. Hello, Maria.
Hi. Sorry.
Hello. We were just talking to Helen about her trying to squeeze a few more classes in, and whether she employs somebody or not. But then you have to put your prices up, I think, like if you employ people, maybe, so that you don't want to be managing somebody for £10.
No.
And responsible for getting bums on seats and doing all that stuff as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. I was like reading the tweets and I was like, ooh, that's...
I know. I'm really excited because it's going to be the kind of kids I used to teach, because I was a secondary teacher. So I love that age group. I just don't like all the bollocks that comes with it. So, you know, it's nice because I can teach that group and I can get the kids interested that love art and want to be there, and their parents are obviously paying for them to be there. So
yeah, sure.
Win-win.
And then maybe their parents will come to something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, Maria's just disappeared. But I was really pleased by her board on the back there. New clients, women in blue dresses.
That's it.
October, £10,000.
Yes. That's my new vision board.
When did you make it?
Sunday.
Is this October, this month, you're making £10,000?
Yeah. And do you know what's amazing, right? I've been doing this manifesting. You know Gabby Bernstein, who wrote the book.
Yes.
Got Your Back. So I've joined her membership group, and it's all about like miracle membership or something like that. And I've been doing, so this month is about manifesting miracles. Okay. And I've been doing this mantra to manifest miracles, and I basically been having a bit of a struggling time financially, and I wrote down yesterday morning how much I needed in my business this week, and by the afternoon I had it in my bank account.
What's your mantra?
I'll send it to you. It's Ekonkar Sat Gur Prasad. It's like a Sanskrit sort of mantra type thing. But honestly, like, at the weekend, I got really clear on what I've got to do, what I'm doing for the next quarter, where I need to focus my energies, what my vision is, what I want. And I just like kind of felt like I let go of the fear and really kind of rose above. And honestly, like with it, yesterday afternoon, I'd manifested the money that I needed.
I love it. That's great. And it's not English. This mantra's not English. It's some like...
Yeah. It's in it. Yeah, it's a bit woo-woo, but it's good.
Well, that's great. That's fabulous. And how are you apart from smashing all your goals and making £10,000 in a month? I like it.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, needing to focus on bringing in new clients. But like I say, I picked up a new one yesterday. Lots of stuff happening, not quite landed yet. So I've just been working on a report for a client, and I've got a course to deliver for them in a couple of weeks. I'm waiting to hear on a bid for some more money for D2N2, and I'm going to be doing 2 online courses that are going to be launched in January.
You won the bids?
Well, I think so. They want to do it anyway.
Come on, I like it. So we're all doing all right.
Yeah. So, and then of course I did my awards ceremony, which I loved.
Yes, yeah. So you were the compare.
I was the compare. Yeah.
You were a very good compare.
I was all right.
I bet you were better than all right.
I was bloody awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I was bloody awesome. I'm all right. It's okay.
I was bloody awesome, and I loved every minute of it.
Love it. Fabulous. So what we were going to speak today about is websites a bit and SEO. Oh, there's Joe. So Maria, how's your website going? Because you're getting it redesigned.
Yes. We've not properly started it. He's meant to be sort of sending me some themes. I've sort of updated the old website as much as I can.
Okay.
But in all honesty, I'm pretty lucky because people find me because of the name.
Yes, because it's construction coach.
Yeah, so if they do a search for coaches in construction, like my name comes up on the first page.
Which would never happen to me if somebody put business coach or social media coach. Crowded market out there. Because when you were naming your business, you did really well.
I didn't realise, honest. I was just, yeah.
It's a happy accident. Hi, Joe.
Hello. It said 8:30 on one of them, so I'm here.
I think that was me trying to do things while running around and doing everything at the same time. How are you, Joe?
I'm well, thank you. I've just been editing a gallery that I'm really happy with.
On your new website?
Have I done it?
No, is it a gallery on your website or for something?
Yeah. So there's 2 bits to my website. I have an online gallery bit, and then I have like a showcase bit, a portfolio bit.
Fabulous. So you're creating that now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep going. That's fine. I just didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. So I'm in the process of designing a new website, and kind of remarketing and stuff, and linking that in with my online gallery service as well, seamlessly. So it's a lot of work to do by myself, and I always have to put my clients' work first, and then my marketing comes second. So whatever's hanging in there at the moment is kind of how it has to be for now.
But it's a work in progress.
It is.
It is a work in progress. So I wanted to share with you that it's really pixelated. Let me look for a non-pixelated guy. I'm gonna like share something about SEO for you, and then put it in the group.
Yeah.
Let me find a really good version of it that's not pixelated, and I can share my screen.
Yeah.
With you. Who knows who made this thing? There we go. Fabulous. Okay. So how is everybody? Is anybody looking through the workbooks or kind of getting started with that at the moment?
Has it gone online now? Can you type in online? Because I printed them all out thinking that I couldn't type in online because it wouldn't let me. And they're sitting in my folder ready to handwrite.
You should be able to fill them in online, because I spent ages going to a PDF filler and making boxes. So,
okay, I'll try again.
yes, but the lovely Misha gave me some feedback. She said, "Can you stop putting so much yellow all over everything? Because although it looks lovely, it eats loads of my ink."
Oh.
I was like, "Oh yes, okay, that's fine. Actually, that's really good feedback. If people do want to print them off, then they don't just want, even if you grayscale it, it's still ink, isn't it, that needn't be there."
Do you know, that's really funny, because this morning I was thinking I really love the yellow, because it's one of my key colours as well.
So maybe I can do a yellow one and a printable one.
Maybe, yeah. But I've done other ones that have been bright pink, and they're not. It's not my. It's not close to my brand at all.
Yellow's good.
I don't feel like I'm home if I'm doing it with bright pink, but if I'm doing it with yellow, it feels like I'm barking up the right tree. So that's really interesting how marketing holds you in your home place or not, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of, all these things are more important than we realise, I think, aren't they, really? All these colours and things that we're looking for. I don't know, that one was a terrible one. Right, okay, so I'm going to share this thing with you, but it keeps doing odd things. Okay, so it's from business to community website. I don't think they created it. It's like well used. So I'm going to share what I can see and kind of go through it with you, because it's a really good way to share my screen, to kind of look at SEO. Can you see what I can see now on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good start, isn't it? So this is like a step-by-step guide to local SEO, although really it's kind of most SEO unless you get really technical. And it's really gives you everything that you need to focus on for your business, thinking about how can I get found when people type my services in and Nottingham, for example. So that would be good for all of us, actually, because a lot of the work we do is based on actually meeting people one-to-one. Apart from Maria, you do quite a lot of work in London, don't you, with clients?
Yeah, I do some work in London, yeah.
But it does tend to be, so I just wanted to show you this, because this is kind of what I would go through with clients in a way of almost what elements could you tick off to make sure that your website is as SEO friendly as possible, which is just meaning that Google can pick up your website. Oh, there's the lovely Maggie. She'll be like, you said 8:30. So I just waited for her to come live. And I'll put this in the Facebook group.
Hello.
Hello, lovely Maggie.
Oh, I've been trying for ages to join. It wouldn't let me join.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I've been here for ages. Never mind. I'm here now. Finally got in.
You can't see your face. Like, you might, maybe that, we don't want you to do anything that will make you disappear, though. Oh, you're there. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm sharing with everybody this tool that I use and I go through clients with, and I'm going to put the link in the group after this.
Okay.
And it's kind of a really good infographic that gives you a good idea of what you need to do to get your website picked up on SEO.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing that it's asking you to do is to list your websites on local listings. So the number one thing that you need to do is have a Google business account.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, it's literally typing into Google My Business, and you just go through this process of creating a Google business account. And it asks you the time that you're available on time, and you get to put pictures. And also, Google Plus closed down last week, which was Google's kind of furore into social media. So that kind of doesn't exist anymore. But under your Google My Business account, you can drop your latest blog posts in and that type of stuff, which will also help drive traffic to your website.
Been really good for me. I've actually had visitors to the studio because of it, because I put up a picture weekly.
Yes, great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I sold a bag because I'd put up that I'd got a limited edition of bags, £15. Somebody came and bought one.
That's a really good way to use it. So putting up images, and I suppose for Helen, you could do that for events as well. You could put a picture of a reef up and then say events and use it that way. So you can put up images and blogs and events and that type of thing. So I think that's a really kind of powerful tool that a lot of people sometimes forget about amongst all the tweeting and Facebooking and that type of thing. And then also what you can also do is kind of register yourself on Bing and Yahoo. There are some people that don't use Google, and so it might be worth registering your business on there as well, because they're not going to drag that Google stuff across, because obviously they're kind of in competition with each other. And when you're listing, you're obviously going to put your business name and contact information and all that type of thing. Okay, the next thing to do for getting really good at SEO is asking your clients to leave you reviews on Google. So getting those really good reviews that they're, maybe currently putting on Facebook or sending you in an email, if you can give them that link. So I generally go into an incognito browser and then kind of search for my business, like I'll search for Debbie Doodah, and then I'll hit on reviews and I give them that URL, because it makes it really easy for them to just click that link. So if you can start getting like monthly, or at least, the reviews up to date on there, the more good reviews you get, the more Google's going to list you as well. So that's something that I would do in there as well. The other thing that you can do is list your business for free on places like Yell and Yell.com. I've not done that yet, and apparently they will ring you and harass you regularly asking you to pay, which do not do. It's not going to bring you very much business, but if you're listed on Yell, at least there's another place where your business is. You're obviously going to be listed as a business on Facebook. So there's a load of other things like 111 information and that type of thing that you can do to list your business. So that's kind of the next step to do there. Has anybody gone and registered their business on Yell or anything like that? It's kind of on my to-do list.
I was a bit worried because I was reading about all the heavy sales they give you. So
yes, I think that's the thing. But I think if you just keep putting the phone down on them and ignoring them.
Or you could block them on your phone.
Oh, that's a good idea. You could block them on your phone. Yes, so register with Yell and then block them on your phone. And just delete all the things. And then the next thing it's asking you to do is think about like industry directories that you could be listed in. So I think there's some like Nottingham business websites that you can list your stuff in. I think the CQ once upon a time had a listing. I don't know if that's even still relevant, but it's kind of looking for places. Maybe there's a construction place where you could get registered, and Helen, maybe there's a, there might be like Mumsnet might have a registry of things in the local area. So thinking about things that are really super specific.
Debbie, there's a really good one, Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And they really promote you. So it's easy to register.
Yeah.
This year it's the 2018 is on the 1st of December. So we're doing a pop-up on that day. Yeah. And what they do is they get back to you. So they check out what you've put in. Yeah. So they do a Google search on you, and then they accept you, and then they list you. So that if you look for, like if they look for an artist in Nottingham, I come up in their list of artists in Nottingham. If they look for an artist near me and they're near me, I pop up. It's really clever.
So that's the type of thing. That's a really good example. So it's kind of like hyper based on your kind of area of expertise. But I reckon I could probably put myself down as a business coach. Jo could definitely put herself down as a photographer, and Helen's like an events person. So
you all put yourselves on it.
We all need to do that.
Yeah.
After this, quick, go and register. So that's great. That's exactly what that is. Okay. The next thing that Google is asking you to do is every different product or service that you have needs its own page. So not necessarily, well, yeah, I suppose if you had a product, like if you had a handbag and you clicked on it, then it would open up into its own pink handbag page. And that's because each of those services will get listed separately. And when you're kind of doing a service or product page, you want to make sure that in the URL, so www.constructioncoach/, that whatever you put in that URL is just as important as the words on the page. Because I've seen people send me things and the URL is like ready-made, and I think Wix are really bad at doing it. They'll be like joekattywelsh.com/56789xc2, which doesn't kind of mean anything. So when you're creating every product page, you want to make sure that the URL kind of adds to whatever's on that page, thinking about the keyword for that page. So you want each of them to be on there. Okay. Now, if you've got WordPress, this next bit is really easy for you to do. It's not so easy for something like Squarespace, for example. So for you, Maria, when your new website is up and running, you want to make sure that the developers or you put on a thing called Yoast. It's Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a tool for WordPress. And I think if you're using something like Wix or something else, I would Google like Yoast for Wix or see if there's an alternative. And it's a plugin. And what you do with that is you make sure that every single page has its own keyword. And keywords are basically things that people are likely to search for under your kind of zone of genius. If you're not sure, if you're kind of stuck between two keywords, you're like, which keyword might be the better? There's a website called Google Trends that you can go to that will tell you the keywords that are the best. So should we do that together now? I can show you while we're on here. So if I go to this website, Google Trends, this is kind of run by Google, and it tells us the words that people would use to search for something. So one of you shout out a word relevant to your business.
Portrait.
Portrait. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of is like an either or thing. So we put portrait in, and what it will do is it will, oh look, loads of people search for portrait in February in the United States. So we want to make it the UK for a start. So we're going to change, because most of our clients are kind of UK based. Okay, and then we want to compare it to another word that's kind of like portrait, but something different that you might search for in Google.
Headshots.
Okay. So we can see that more people search for the term portrait than headshots. But portrait's that might be like, I don't know, paintings and stuff like that. Like, is there another thing for headshots that's kind of another comparison like that?
Photographer. Yeah.
You can see it takes a little bit of thinking. So we can see that loads more people will search for the word photographer than headshots. So then you're like, okay, so if I'm going to pick one keyword, it's going to be, I'm going to use photographer over headshots. So you can just use Google Trends as a way to search what is the most popular terms. What do people actually search for using those words? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will help you optimize your page. And then there's these extra things called meta tags. So does anybody know what meta tags are?
I've come across them when I'm doing my website, that I can put my own meta tags in. Apparently I can add
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Do you know what a meta tag is?
I just thought it might, when people do a search, it might list me in their search. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so it's this bit here. It's the words that pop up
Oh yes, because I've written my own, and that does pop up. You're right. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
So, great. So they're the meta tags. So that gives Google even more information about what that page is. And if somebody Googled it, that's the bit that they're going to read.
And if you change your page, you have to change the meta tag, because I had an out-of-date meta tag and I couldn't understand why the wrong stuff was coming up. And it's because I actually had to go in and change that. I'd moved studios and areas and what I was doing.
Yes, for sure. So you've got to keep them up to date. So we've spoken about the keyword URLs. So that's the www. bit. That needs to be there. If you're writing blogs or words in your page, there's these keyword headings like H1, H2, and H3. People might have seen that. And they're kind of like mini headings that break up the content that help Google understand what's on that page. So you might use some mini headings. You want to link to other pages as much as you can. So that's like worth kind of going through as that checklist. The next thing is looking at external links linking to your website. So it's got some quick wins here for you. For example, linking back from your own social media profiles give you some external links. So that will help. Maybe there's some business directories. Well, we talked about Yale, so that would give you some external links. And I don't know, maybe you could collaborate with somebody and write a blog post and they could have a link to your website or that type of thing. You know, or maybe you get, I don't know, some newspaper article and they link to your website. So as many as those links to your website, the better. But if their website is terrible, you don't want those links. So it kind of comes with a caveat. So it can't be your mate's really rubbishy website that's only been live for 2 weeks. It won't help. It will kind of damage your SEO. So you want it to be good. Okay. So then you want to check how fast your website loads. And there's a tool, I don't know if it does this, but there's a website that I'm putting in here called nibbler.silktide.com. And you can put your URL in here and test it. And it will give you a score on how well your website is doing. And it will give you ideas of things to do to improve your kind of Google ranking. So we can look at that report. Oh, with blah, 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 it's going to be here any minute now. Let's have a look. So it'll tell you how accessible your website is. I need to have more internal links in my website. I mean, I think there's tons. So Jesus Christ, what a good amount of internal links are. I need to be even more popular on social media, apparently. I'm quite popular on Twitter, but it will give you a score of how good your website is, and it will tell you what you need to do to improve your website. So my website, that's just so many numbers. So yeah, I mean, I've got no followers on Google+, but they're about to shut it down. So it's worthwhile sticking your website in there and having a look. So that's nibbler.silktide.com. But I can put that in the links at the end as well. Okay, one of the things that you need to do that I haven't done is make sure your website is safe and secure. So you know when you have a website and you've got this padlock up here next to the HTTPS bit, can you see up here? You want to check your website and you want to have that padlock. I've not got around to doing mine yet. If you haven't, you need to go back to the people you bought your URL from. So I need to go back to 123reg and do some jiggery pokery thing that I've not had time to do yet. And that means that your website is secure, especially if you're selling things on your website, which I don't know if any of us take money on our website at the moment. But especially especially if you're selling things, people will want to see that padlock there because it makes them feel like they're going to trust your website more. I imagine that they're all mobile friendly. And then the next thing is blogging. Like creating blogs is really important. And that's kind of like one of the next things we're going to go on to in this community is building a kind of blogging strategy and thinking about what to blog from. So I won't go through that in too much detail here, but you can see that this infographic actually has loads of ideas in these yellow bubbles on the bottom right-hand corner of what you could blog about. And that's going to mean that your website's updated regularly, and also you're adding more rich keywords to Google, so it has more understanding of what it is that you're trying to sell and what you're talking about. Okay, if you use YouTube, Google will like that because Google owns YouTube. And so if you've got any YouTube videos, you probably want to be embedding them back into your website. And then one of the things you can do is, if you've done any Facebook Lives and you feel like they would be valuable for other people, you can export your Facebook Lives and drop them into YouTube. So if you're creating videos on one platform, you can always take them off that platform and drop them into YouTube, which I think is quite a nifty kind of extra thing that you can do. What have we got here? Are you happy to appear on videos? It's giving you some ideas for that. Optimizing your videos for SEO, we can talk about that a bit later, but that's where, if you're actually putting videos on YouTube, you want to be writing a really good kind of description and thinking about tags and keywords and that type of thing. And then kind of finally, it's telling you, have you got any supplier logos or professional accreditations that you can put on your website? So I'm a member of this, or I've done that, because you can also link those logos back to that website. So that gives you some outbound links. And then it says, does your website create trust? Well, we hope so. And then it says, relax and have a coffee, you've earned it.
I'll go and put the kettle on.
Yeah, any minute now. So I find this guide like a really good visual tool for kind of running through and thinking, where am I falling down? What are the extra things I can do to get my business listed, to keep adding to that. And so I think sometimes people get a bit scared by the word SEO or search engine optimization. But it's kind of, there's no rocket science to it, really. It's just about creating really good content that you list in a way that Google can read it. And I think one of the things that's not mentioned here is making sure that your images are listed as well, because every image that you put on your website, you can tag. You've got that alt tag option, and you can put some keywords in there. And you've got to remember that a lot of people search via Google in the image function as well, not just in the text function. And so if you're listing those images well, then people will be able to Google search images and those will pop up. So it might not always be, I don't know, Joe, for example, if you put a photo on of a client, you might not tell Google the name of that client. You might call it professional headshots or something.
Yeah.
Or business branding, or do you see what I mean? So
yeah,
it's searchable for people. You might put their name on it as well, but you want to call it something that's going to make sense.
Yeah.
Somebody's like branding Nottingham, or you could have a play and put different things on the back end of those photos as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a whistle stop SEO tour. Does anybody have any questions? No. Is it late on a Tuesday?
I'm on Google setting up my business Google thing. And then,
brilliant!
As we're talking, so I've just got to the bit where they give you £80 worth of free advertising. And I'm getting a bit stuck with that. I decided that if I didn't do it, I might lose it. But actually, I've really got time to do it right now.
No, and they will keep sending you emails offering you more money.
Yeah, thank you.
Stop trying to hook you in. Maybe we need a session on that, because you can end up spending a lot of money on Google AdWords. It's quite costly.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's that. I think I'm going to do like just a video of Google Analytics rather than doing that live with people, that I will be posting up as well, because that's another thing that will increase your SEO, is having Google Analytics set up. But I think understanding how to read it, understanding how people use your website and how you can actually make them move around and do things that you want them to do is a really important part of kind of making your website something that you can use to make sales and influence people, rather than just a brochure that you created because you feel like you have to and it's there. So I think that will give you a lot more power to be able to promote your business on Google and via your website. So does have any burning issues before we end the call?
No, I found it really useful. I know I missed the beginning. I was so frustrated because I was all ready, but I found this really invaluable because of the grunt test. So I kept getting other people to look at my websites and didn't get upset at what they told me.
Right.
I listened. And I had so many images about me being an artist and creative, which actually, for what I'm doing is I need to sell my products, not convince people I'm an artist. So I stripped it right back to its bare bones. And then I looked at the analytics. I'm with 1, 2, 3 as well, and it shows you the analytics. And straight away, it's doing its job better.
Great.
I don't get a lot of people looking. I get about 40 people a month looking.
Yeah.
I was only getting 1 or 2 a month.
And it's only going to build from there, isn't it? It's only going to keep growing. So that's really great to hear.
Yeah. So what's the test?
Well, you've not looked at the workbook, Helen.
I've got it here.
So the grunt test. Yeah. I can see.
Read it all. I'm doing a bit of it.
The grunt test is that you have 2.4 seconds to impress somebody when they land on your website, whether they decide this is the website for me or not. And so the idea behind the grunt test is that I need to know in that 2.4 seconds what it is, who it's for, and how do I buy it.
2.4 seconds.
Yes, 2.4 seconds is what you've got. That's like, or they're bouncing off. Like, it's scientifically proven. But it's just, I think some people's homepages end up quite waffly and they're like trying to, I don't know, there's just too much. And it's like, actually, people just want to go, this is for me or this is not for me. And in that workbook, I give an example of, I don't even know the lady, but it was a website of a Nottingham-based business. And I opened that up and I thought, this is like 100%. She's on it. I know exactly what the product is. I know exactly what she's doing and I know exactly how to buy it. So that's a really good example of a website that isn't, there's lots of content on there, but that initial impression is really strong.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like if a Neanderthal saw your website and grunted, would you know what it was? That like alien test, if it was written for an alien or a 9-year-old boy, I don't know why I said boy, if 9-year-old boys are more silly. But what I might do is when we have this next call in a fortnight, maybe we can go through the workbooks together and look at all the various bits. So if people haven't done them, then there's space for them to not feel like they need to do it. We can do that in a calling setting, and then people can question bits and bobs that they've struggled with or that kind of thing. Does that feel like that would be useful?
Yeah.
And I've done the analytics thing by then as well and posted that up. So if anybody had any questions about that, then they can bring that to the table as well.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm a little bit behind at the minute because I know I've got to focus on the website because I'm just going to start getting a new one designed, but I just haven't had the chance yet.
Well, at least knowing things like each service needs its own page then helps you start to map out what that would look like and how, like the idea of creating a sitemap is just that, like what's there. If I spread it out in each of its individual element, what do all those pages look like? And almost if I was to draw arrows, where do they go next? Like, where do you want them to go in that kind of idea of a customer journey? To help people, really, it's really to help our customers because they're time poor and they're busy and they just want it to be easy. To have that process as easy as possible. So they're not like, I'm just lost in this website with many pages. Then get frustrated. Okay. Well, it was lovely seeing you all. I'll pop these links in now into the group and this recording. How do I stop showing you my screen is my next question. I'm not sure. You're very small. Now you're very big. It's just Maria. There's lots of you. Okay, who knows? Who knows? I knew how to share it and I don't know how to get it back now. You're so wonderful to me, ladies.
I think there's a thing at the bottom. It says stop on the share. You just click stop screen share, I think.
Yeah, but I manage it. All I can see is my screen and a little you in the corner. Oh, but that's what you can see as well.
Yes. Ooh.
Now you can just see me moving from thing to thing, like, where am I going? Oh, bugger. Well, if you all just leave, then shall we stop?
All right. Oh.
All right. See you all later.
Bye.
Bye.